Good morning, my lovelies. So welcome back. So it's Sunday again, and as every Sunday, we are looking ahead at the week that is going to be, I would say, quite interesting. It's a bit of a more active and busy week. I mean, the March has so far not been super stressful for most of us. Remember what I said in my monthly forecast? January and February were intense and we had to do a lot of work. And when I speak of work, I'm talking about the inner journey, right? I'm talking about the inner work. If we've looked at all that stuff and gone to work internally, then March has been, so far, rather quiet, because if we've done the work in January and February, Mars is an integration month, right? It's like all sinking in from the mental plane into the physical plane, from the mental plane into the physical plane. Because when we do the inner work, we go in understanding things mentally, right? We're bringing them up into consciousness, becoming conscious. And then from that place, we got to integrate the lessons, right? We got to integrate what we've understood so we can embody it. That usually happens in a more quiet time. The integration, the actual healing happens when we are in a calm state. January and February was not very calm. January and February was very active mentally, right? We are like, okay, this is happening and that is happening and that is happening. So, anywho, let's get to the coming week. The coming week, we have an equinox, right? It's the spring equinox. We are starting a new year. And we also have a moon. Well, that's not correct. The moon is actually happening a few hours after we end the week. So the moon is actually happening on Monday, the 25th. But nonetheless, we have a lot of action here. We have Mercury conjunct the North Node. We have the Sun in Aries, or the Sun moving into Aries, which means spring equinox. And we have Mercury conjunct Chiron. Mercury is quite active this month. So the mental plane, right? Mercury is the mental plane. The understanding, the conscious understanding, something is coming into our awareness in a way where we can then actually utilize it and integrate it. That part of us is very active. But enough about that, let's get to it. So this is the week from the 18th to the 24th, and it's quite a busy week. We are amping up, we are moving towards the full moon in Libra. That is not happening this week. It's happening actually a few hours after this week ends. It's happening on Monday in the early hours in the morning, of course, depending on where you are in the world. Now, this week is rather busy, like I already said. It's a lot is happening. It's a very busy week, also because Mercury is very active this week. Mercury is conjunct the nodes first and then conjunct Chiron, so quite active week. Also, when it comes to understanding a little more, right? A little more of what we still haven't understood. Now, on the 19th, which is Tuesday, Mercury is conjunct the North Node, and I absolutely love this, because this is us getting a clearer vision about where we're actually going and where we actually want to go. And the North Node is all the things that we are not really comfortable with yet, right? The South Node is our comfort zone. And Mercury is opposing the South Node. So we are moving out of the comfort zone, and we are getting more comfortable with the uncomfortable mentally, because Mercury is the mental plane, right? We are starting to get comfortable with where we're going and where we actually want to go. We are starting to allow ourselves to go there. There's courage involved here. This is a courageous week. The next day, the Sun is moving into Aries. More courage, right? It's almost like we are understanding that we need a little more courage to get to where we want to go. And then the Sun says, okay, more energy your way. Right? The Sun moving into Aries. Aries is courage, right? If there's any sign that embodies courage, then it is Aries, because Aries just moves towards it. In Pisces, we seed it. We seeded and we were breeding, right? It was the breeding space. And now we're getting to move. We're getting to move. Slowly but surely, we're getting to move. Also, this is the day of the equinox, the spring equinox, where it all begins again, right? Where everything is possible again. So this is a celebration of what is possible and what we're gonna do. What is this next year all about for you? This next year, from this spring equinox to the next spring equinox, the next 12 months, what is it that you want to do? And I say to do because we are in Aries. We are in masculine energy. This is a masculine energy where we push forward. We just came out of the feminine state where we were like in the being stage, seeding and breeding, and now we're moving again. We're moving again. This is also the flow of life. Feminine to masculine, feminine to masculine, feminine to masculine. Understanding the flow. And we need to know what our flow actually looks like, because the masculine feminine flow within us is not the same for every person. You know, some people are longer in the feminine stage and then they push forward for a moment and then they go back into their feminine stage where it's all about being. And this is a beautiful time to become very, very clear what your balance is, the balance between what your rhythm is, right? Every rhythm has a balance. So is it like this for you, or is it like that for you? How does it look like for you? And again, what do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish going forward in the coming year? And I'm not saying you have to have a big list with a big framework and a big plan, but just have a good idea of how this looks like for you. And then move things forward, move into the direction, right? Aries, the first house, direction. What's your direction for the coming year? And again, it doesn't have to be something really exhausting, right? It's not like, oh my God, I have this big plan and it will totally exhaust me. It doesn't have to be that way. Again, you got to be true to yourself. What is true for you? For some people, they want to push. They want to push forward and they want to have big goals and they want to achieve those big goals. But it's not for all of us. Just be clear what is true for you. That is probably the most important thing you can do this week. Really become clear. Clarity is big this week. Also with Mercury conjunct the North Node, right? And it's really becoming clear where you want to get to. Then on also the 20th, the Mercury is conjunct Chiron. Mercury conjunct Chiron is becoming clear about I don't know, it's like we always call it the wound. It is the wound, but it also is the blessing in what we've experienced and what we're supposed to learn from it, right? The Mercury conjunct Chiron is more of an understanding of what the thing you went through is actually here to teach you and to give you. Remember, we want to look at it from the perspective of something happening for us, not to us, right? You want to look at it from that perspective because that is much more helpful perspective when we move forward in life. You know, of course, you know, you can stay in the mode of, oh, this happened to me and this happened to me and this happened to me, but it is a much lower energy. It's a much lower vibration that you then buy into and that you move with. You can do that. It's not that you can't do that and you can't get anywhere with it. You can, certainly, but it's not as helpful, really, and it doesn't feel as good. It keeps you a bit more in that victim mentality, that victim mode. It's like, oh, this happened to me and this happened to me. Okay, but I'm learning from it, but this happened to me. But what if you say, well, this happened for me? This happened for me. Didn't feel good, but it happened for me, right? So I can learn. I can learn something. I can understand something. I can then utilize it to move forward in life. This is what I want you to understand through this energy. Then on the 22nd, lovely Venus is conjunct Saturn. Now, with every conjunction, we can always move two ways, right? They can always, and conjunction can unfold in two completely opposite directions, depending on the way we perceive it, the way we then also utilize it, right? A Venus conjunct Saturn can be a very stabilizing force in our life. It can also elevate us in a way because we feel held. We feel, for me, the best manifestation of this aspect is the husband, right? The husband, the band around the house, the band around the family. This is Venus conjunct Saturn for me. This is like the beautiful physical manifestation of this aspect, where you understand that you're held by the other, right? Because if you look at it in partnership, which we will do, it's Venus, right? We will, to a certain degree, apply this to partnership. Even if you're single, you apply this to partnership, where, you know, how do you feel about partnership? What type of partnership do you want? How do you want to feel in your partnership? You know, we're also looking at it from the perspective of the reciprocal of the other, you know, not from the sameness, from the reciprocal. I'm the reciprocal of my partner. My partner is my reciprocal. So if we look at it from the perspective of the higher manifestation, it's, you know, I feel really safe in life right now. I feel really safe. I feel held. There are structures around me where I can unfold all of me within those structures, right? A low manifestation of this is I feel restricted. I feel like I'm in a cage. I can't breathe. I can't be fully myself. I can't unfold. That is also a possible manifestation that some of us will conclude through this energy. Again, what is the lesson in that? What do you learn from it? What needs to shift and change for you so you can actually alchemize this energy into the other, right? Into the safety energy, into feeling safe and held and protected, and you can fully be yourself within that. Then on the 23rd, Mars moving into Pisces. Mars in Pisces, it's a Mars that is not very Martian in the sense where this is not the soldier. This is more of a Mars that is very creative in the way he pushes forward in life. It is a Mars that is usually Mars is connected to the masculine, right? It's connected to the instinct, right? Masculine instinct, feminine intuition. Now, Mars in Pisces is in a feminine sign, in feminine energy. And it's not that he doesn't have access to his instinct anymore. He does, because it's still Mars. But he also can utilize the feminine energy in a different way. He can tap into that and use it to his benefit. So this can be a tricky Mars at times, again, depending on where we're at in life and how we apply this energy. But it can also be a Mars that understands that you can get around all the hard work and just get to the thing, because he utilizes a different energetic. He's able to utilize a different energetic. He's still Mars, and he still pushes forward, and he still is doing the work that Mars is doing, but it's just, you can also almost say like working smarter, not harder. That's Mars in Pisces. Very creative energy. I mean, this is an energy, a beautiful energy for an artist, for like anything creative. This is an absolutely beautiful energy because we are still doing, right? It's a doing energy. It's a moving forward energy. It's still a masculine energy that utilizes the feminine in a way that, that just gets around all that hard stuff. Remember, it's Pisces. Pisces is not truly at home in the physical, even though, of course, it is in a way, right? But in Pisces, we are holding both paradigms. We are holding the paradigm of the 3D physical reality, but also the paradigm of the higher consciousness, the divine, right? Divine consciousness. And we're playing with it. And the way we alchemize it, the way we use it, alchemize it, is up to us and where we are at consciously. So yeah, it's a beautiful week. It's really a beautiful week. And even though there's still Pisces energy present, Venus is also still in Pisces, so there's still a lot of Pisces energy present, we are starting to be more active. We are starting to push forward, and we are actually starting to see results again. Not just in a way where we imagine how it could be, but there is actually something is happening, right? Things are happening. Things are starting to actually unfold again. So I love this week. It's a beautiful week. Really, it's a beautiful week. I hope you will be able to tap into those energetics in the best possible way. If you have any questions about this week, if you have any questions about any of these aspects, how they unfold in your chart, leave me a comment in the comment section. If you want a personal reading, feel free to click on the link in the description box and book it. If you want to work with me one-on-one, you can email me. And have a beautiful week, and I will see you in the next video.